Let's pick up where we left off with project 4 at step 11. So part A is asking us to select cell F4, then type fees as the header and press enter. So here's F4, type in fees and press enter. And the nice thing about Excel, for this part, it auto format the column F for you. So let's go ahead and check off part A. Part B is asking us to create a formula by clicking on cell F5 and then entering E5, multiplying by 225. Not sure if you noticed before, the multiplication symbol is the asterisk symbol, so which is Shift 8. Okay, and then you press Enter, and once again, Excel auto fill that for you. So that's a nice feature. Part C is asking us to format the values in column F as currency. So let's go ahead and select the values here, go to number, and we want currency with 0 decimal places. Okay. Part D is asking us to close the queries and connections pane, which is the pane on the left. So I'll go ahead and close that. Step 12 is asking us to sort the data by fees and then by city, both in ascending order. So to do that, just go ahead and click on the drop down arrow. Let me go ahead and zoom in on that. And then we want to sort it from smallest to largest. Okay. And then I'll do the same thing to the city, A to Z. And there you go. Okay. For step 13, it asks us to change the font size for A1 to A2 to 20 and set the font to bold. So here's A1 and A2. Change it to 20. And then we want to bold it. And then we want to select cells A1 to F2. So A1 and here's F2. And then we want to center them across the selection. So to do that, just right click anywhere in the selection. And then let me go and zoom in. You want to select Format Cells. Then you want to go to Alignment. And then let me go and zoom in at this part. Then you want to, in the horizontal drop-down menu, you want to select Center Across from Selection. Click OK. And we finished step 14. 15 is asking us to copy the billable hours sheet. So I can right click on that, move and copy. We want to create a copy and move it to the end. Okay. And then we want to call it data. So just double click on the sheet and that would allow you to rename it and press enter. Now we want to create a pivot table with the data sheet. So select cell A5 and click on the table name box. So let's go to table design. Right now, the table name is table 14. We want to type in table hours. Make sure you use the correct caps for the H. And then click the summarize with pivot table button, which is in the table design tab and underneath tools, summarize with pivot tables. So click on that. All right, so we want to verify that the new worksheet is selected and also the range is identified as table hours. Okay, so that's part C. It's just asking us to check for the right values. Once again, part D is asking us to make sure it's going to create a new worksheet and then hit OK. And then a new worksheet is created. Let me go ahead and resize my bar to kind of show that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And so this is called sheet 2. We want to name it to pivot table. Once again, capitalizations matter. So make sure you capitalize it the way part E is asking you to. Now, step 17 is asking us to manage fields in the pivot table. So for that, let's see, show the product services fields in the pivot table. Okay. So what that means is we just want to check box product service and then billable. Okay. And then you notice the pivot table is generated with those two values selected. Now we want to drag the billable field um, to the values area. So I'm going to click on billable or hover over billable and then move it, click and drag my mouse with the left button down to the value section here. So I guess I can undo that and kind of zoom in to kind of show you what I'm doing. So, oops, let me see here if it follows. Yep, it follows me down into the values here. So now you have two values, both of them called sum of billables, but we'll change those names. Okay. Select cell C4 or anywhere in here. Let's see here. Yeah, it's kind of wordy there, but it's to say you can select anywhere in C4. Um, type in the average hours as the custom name and choose average as the calculation. So what that means is, let's see here. I believe it's for the second one. So for the second one, we want to go ahead and click on it. So a pop-up menu shows up, so the value setting box is available. So we want to click on that. And then we want to select average, and then we want to name it average hours. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Okay. So you notice the pivot table, the header changed to title, and then the numbers change as well. Oh, I think I click it too fast. So let me go back to value settings. It's also asking us to format the number to number format with 2 decimal places. So click on number format, click on number, and then hit OK, and then OK. Now we want to select cell B4, and then open the value settings list. So there's two ways of doing it, I guess. You could do it down here, or you can just right click on cell B4 like I did and select value settings there. Right now it's saying sum of billable. They just want to call it, rename it to total hours. Once again, we need to change the number format to number and set it to 2 decimal places, which is the default. And then it wants us to apply the dark gray pivot style dark 11. So the keyword for that is dark, and where you can do that is in the design tab. So click on that, and you notice there's these different stylings we can pick from, but we need to select more, the drop down arrow there. So I guess I should zoom in a little bit to show you that drop down arrow that I click. And then so like I said, the keyword is dark, so it's down here, and it's going to be the fourth column, second row. And just hover for a little bit, then the name will pop up. So dark gray, pivot style, dark 11. Yep, that's what it wants. And then it wants us to make sure it has banded rows and banded columns. So it's a checkmark value up in the ribbon. Now it wants to select the data sheet tab and copy cells A1 and A2 to cell A1 on the pivot table sheet. So let's go ahead and just click it here. Let's go to our data tab, scroll back up. So I guess he wants us to copy the title. So I'm going to do Control C and then go back to the pivot table and just do Control V. And then they want us to do left align. Okay. Create subtotals. So now he wants to create another sheet by copying the data sheet and then move it to the end. So move and copy, move it to the end. Okay. Oh wait, that, then move it to the end. Let's try this again. Copy the data sheet, create a copy and move it to the end. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Yeah, let's go ahead and call that subtotals. Okay. So part B is asking us to select cell A5 and convert the table to a range. So to do that, we go to we can do it in the search and type in convert to range. It's just right here. Yeah, and then we click yes. So you noticed the drop-down filters disappeared. So by doing this, it allows us to do the next step, which is select cell A5. Oops, make sure it's not within the cell. And then E51. Now we can go ahead and go to the pink bucket. So let me go ahead and zoom in to kind of show you where I go to navigate that. Select no fill. Okay. And you notice the banded rows disappeared. So now we want to do A4 to E4, and then we want to change it so it's the black text one, which is here. Okay. Use the subtotal command now to show a sum for a billable and add on amount for each product and service. All right, so for part E, before we can actually do the subtotal, we actually need to sort it first so that all the products and services are grouped together. So in order to do that, just click on cell B5, right click, select sort, and then select A to Z. So now all the products and services are in ascending order. Now you can run the subtotal command, and I don't think it really matters where you have your pointer, your cell selected, but I'll go ahead and select A5. And if you don't know where subtotal is, you can just use the search feature and type in sub, and then we'll autocomplete so that you can see subtotals here. Click on that. And yeah, the Excel will select the entire data set for you. And then we want to, I think it's default to client name, but you want to select product and service and make sure, I guess I already have it set up already, but you want to set it so that's product and service for the first field, and then sum on the second, and then have billable and the 0.5 add-on selected, and then just keep those two the same and hit OK. And then it's just going to create, let me go ahead and zoom out, a collapsible subtotal so that you can focus on certain values without having to look at an entire row of data. So part E is done. And then it wants us to apply all borders to cell A56 and E57. So there's A56, E57, okay? And then go to font, select all borders, okay? And then it wants us to only display the product and services with the grand total. So the easy way to do that, if you hover to the left ping, let me go ahead and zoom in. You notice there's 1, 2, 3. It just shows you the collapsible areas of the subtotal. So I'm going to zoom out, click on 2, and there it is. This is what they want you to show for part G. Okay. Now we can save and close the workbook. I'm going to save it as demo. Hopefully I get 100%. And then upload. And then let me go ahead and close that. I might as well check that off. And then submit the demo for project 4. Well, I thought I did that. Let's see here. So my pivot table sheet, I thought I did it, but I think I must have clicked undo and didn't realize I undo what I just did. So yeah, this is an easy fix. Yeah, that's what they wanted. So let me save this again. And then let me upload it again. Okay, little things like that. Thankfully, I have little fixes I can do. I know there are some errors that are pretty big, and if they're at the beginning, it can really affect your final outcome. And yeah, you would need to start all over. But I guess for the most part, I've been making minor mistakes that I can easily fix and to resubmit. So yeah, so I got 100% this time.